Well, hey guys and gals, it's me, George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, and I'm getting ready to weld up new sprocket onto the bigger sprocket. And if you can see here the difference in the sizes of these two sprockets, not only the sizes but the thickness of them. And most difference is right here. Look at the difference in the thickness of the original sprocket that broke and the new one that I'm replacing with. I say new because this is a used one. Most all of the stuff I have used on this have come off of either lawnmowers or snow blowers. More snow blowers than lawnmowers, but a little of each. And this one is no exception. I think this one is actually off of a snow blower, and it was made to have had a roll pin driven through the axle, and you can see that there. So what I have done, I have tapered around the bottom here, so that when I weld it, I'll get better penetration. And I have taken the bushings out because both the large large sprocket and this smaller sprocket have bushings in them, like this. Bronze bushings. And they're just a press-in fit. And this one will go inside of this one, and this one will go inside of the bottom one. And I just have a 3/4 inch shaft here. It actually works on a 5/8 shaft, and that's why the bushings are very thin. But I've taken the bushings out of both for the purpose of welding. And I'm probably going to have to put this little spacer one in between the two, so that I have bushing. There we go. I have bushing all the way through. And this is just a part of one that got cut off, and I will have to finish facing it off. It's got some burrs on it. You can see it hasn't been ground smooth. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to weld this one on there, and that should take care of that problem. This sprocket here obviously was the weak link, and whether my weld had held or not, because it's so thin, and it is getting the torque from this larger sprocket transferred onto this one. This was the weak link. So we'll take care of that weak link and beef it up, and yeah. Okay, so here we are. We have our sprocket installed and all set up, but I have a problem. For whatever reason, and I didn't notice this problem before, this half link right here binds up going around this small sprocket. And I can see why the spacing is not exactly the same, so I'm wondering if this is not really a 420 half link, if maybe it's a number 40 half link, because they are very similar but they're not exactly the same. So I'm going to have to order one for there. Now for the inside. Okay, now we have another problem. Because the sprocket in here is bigger, my chain is now too short, and it is short by 1.5 links. So I have to get a half link. If I put 2 links in, it's too long, and 1 link won't quite make it. And so I need to get myself 2 half links. Another issue that I discovered while I'm down underneath here, sorry for the shaky cam, but if you look up in there, see if you can see up in there. See if I can let you see up in there. See if I get my camera up in there. I don't know what you can see. I hope you can see that I have a leak on the bottom of my transmission. And if you look down here, you can see where it's been splashing around there. And if you look at the bottom of the pulley, it's pretty wet. And it's even been dripping down here onto my lift. So I was concerned about that. I think I had mentioned it when I put the transmission back together, that this does not have provision for seals on the bottom of the input shaft. This is the input shaft here. And so I was hoping that by packing the bearings that we put in there, we put 2 new bearings in, packing them with grease, that it would stop the oil from coming down. See, these transmissions originally had didn't have oil in them. They had grease in them, so it was not an issue. And I have put STP in here, and I haven't checked on this side yet. That seems to be pretty dry there. And whoa, a little bit too close in maybe. That seems to be, looks like it's weeping just a little bit, doesn't it? I see a little bit of shiny stuff down in there. And I noticed, if I bring you around the other side here, I had noticed that there was a little bit of drippage coming out of here too. So I don't see any behind the sprocket, but that's right in tight against the case. So we'll have to keep our eye on it. It's not a huge issue. It actually, when it's spinning, evidently it spins it out enough so that it's not actually going down onto the belt surface. The belt surface on the pulley is dry. So at any rate, I need to get 2 half links like this, but different from that. You know what I mean? So yep, so I'm gonna go online, and none of the local Tractor Supplies have 420 chain. They all have 40 and 41, and supposedly 40 and 420 are interchangeable, but they're not exactly. And I think that's the problem here. I'm guessing that I bought a number 40 half link, and it's just not quite long enough so that it binds going around this sprocket. And it's no problem on the larger sprocket down here, only on the small one. Doesn't seem to be any problem on the back as far as I can tell. So that's where we're at. And yeah, it was a fun ride. And I also found another thing when I was under there. I hadn't finished tightening up this not drag link, this radius rod. So that's taken care of now too. Alrighty, till next time, this is George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man. Thanks for watching, commenting, and for subscribing. And we'll get it going again, and hopefully get it for another road test for next week. Bye for now.